Hey there folks, Notorious Fig here. I'm doing an up pot of a grafted tree, and I'm going to show some reasoning behind what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So this tree is Bordeaux Negra Ramata, and it has the prettiest wood. The Ramata trees are just fantastic, they look pretty. This one actually has variegation that it gets in the leaves occasionally depending on the node. So it's really pretty. So Bordeaux Negra Ramata, or BNR, is a very prized fig, just amazing, super complex, rich berry flavor, jammy flavor. But it has a reputation of being a slow grower on its own roots. So what I did here is I took a cutting, a pretty long cutting actually, I could have had a shorter cutting, and I think this was a tip, yeah, so we're on tip cutting, and I did a banana graft onto rootstock. This was a Nuestra Senora del Carmen that I had sitting around and didn't have anybody give it to, so what I ended up doing is just tinkering with it, and I did a banana graft, and you can look that up online. It's pretty simple and kind of easy. This is second graft I've done, so this one took. And anyway, put it on here, and Nuestra Senora del Carmen roots, so hopefully that's going to be better than the BNR on its own roots. A lot of people use brown turkey. That's just, and I think the reason that is because everybody has it laying around and it's known to be vigorous. There's a lot of brown turkey and it's easy to come by. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, there's a lot of stuff here. Hopefully you can see this. One little bud down here, second one right there, 3, 4, and then 5. So what I want to do is I grow my fig trees in a tree shape. So, and that is to grow them in a long whip the first year, and you want the shape to be nice and straight. So that's what I want to do with this. I need to cut it and prune it and shape it and up pot it, and so I can get that nice straight up shape. And a lot of people do different types of shapes. This is what I do. It's not the only way to do it or the right way to do it. It's just one way to do it. And I like the looks of that better. So it's partially, there's some benefits to every kind of pruning and shaping of trees. So just pick one and go with it. So what I'm probably going to do is try to get this tree. This is a 7-gallon square pot. So trade pot, 7 gallons. This is a 5-gallon bucket.
You sit on a throne of lies.
So your 5-gallon bucket is a 7-gallon trade pot. And the trade pots are all over the board. I don't think there's any standards, but anyway. So essentially, this is what I'm going to put it into, but I'm not going to fill the whole thing with soil quite yet. But you can see, if I tilt it like this, I'm going to get this bud to grow straight right here. It'll be straight, and I'm going to cut the rest of this off. All right, so let's take a look at this, and I'm going to sacrifice this grow bag as opposed to just ripping it out of here. So I'm going to cut it and see what the roots look like. Okay, so I'm going to cut this grow bag and check out the roots and see how it looks. A lot of people like these because it air prunes the roots and you get better root growth that way. So better than a plastic pot. So let's cut down here, see what we got. You can see the inside of the grow bag. The roots had actually started growing into the fabric of the grow bag, but that's perfectly fine. All right. So now what I'm going to do is try to figure out how this is going to go into the 7-gallon pot and how I'm going to balance it and shape it. Let's take a look at that. All right, so once this pot is fully filled with soil, then this node that I'm planning to have right here is going to go straight up. So it's going to get a good shape, perfectly good shape on it. But for now, what I'm going to do is tilt the plant just like it is, not this way, but just like that. So this node is the one I'm going to favor. I'm going to cut the rest of the scion off, and I'm only going to put soil still to the soil line, and then slowly add more soil to this as the roots can take it up. I don't want to fill it to here and have all, because right now the root ball's about there. I don't want this top half to be wet soil sitting there, because that's just going to cause problems and could cause the roots to rot. So what I'm doing now is I just filled a little bit, a couple of inches on the bottom, and just so I can place the tree in there and get it to balance the way I want it to. And this tree was from outside, and we got some little roly-poly bugs that have been living in it for several months inside in the grow tent. All right, so I'm going to bring the camera over here, and you're going to see the tree is tilted at an angle like this, but then now this growth tip is straight up. So you can see the angle of that, but the growth tip is perpendicular to the ground, so that's going to be in great shape. So we have our tree in there, and I have it tilted to the side with the growth tip going straight up. And what I'm going to do is I'm still going to leave this grafting tape that's on there, because I'm only going to fill the soil line up to the original soil line. And the roots, they have a lot of, the roots will double into this space down here. And then I'll take off this tape a little later, and then slowly add more soil to this pot. And I can do that in the summer. I don't even have to do, I can just put like about an inch per month between now and summer, and let the roots slowly get up into that, into the newly added soil. And for this, I'm just using HP, ProMix HP. I'm not using my typical outdoor mix. I don't want to bring a bunch of compost with bugs and all that indoors in a grow tent. Okay, added the soil and to the original soil line, so it's only about this much down here. And I'm going to get some indoor strength fertilizer and water it in well to get rid of all the air pockets and to make sure that this tree has enough water to drink. When I took it out of this grow bag, it didn't feel wet, and I watered the whole thing just last night. So these really take up the water pretty good, especially with that air bag. All right, so we watered it in, and now comes for the hard part.
You think? Oh, heavens no, not the green one. Pull anyone but the green one.
There we go. So, really hurts to cut off this much, but this is going to be BNR, and it's on Nuestra Senora del Carmen roots. So let's see how this grows. Make sure we get the label on there. And I'll show you what it looks like. So there we go. You can still see the soil line and how it's tilted. And there's the graft. And this is gonna, I'll take this off in a couple of months. I'll take this off right there in a couple of months, we'll see. But now we have a pretty straight tree. All right, so there you have it. Soil lines right to here. Like I said, I'm going to slowly add the soil. You can see the roots pop up pretty quickly in a grow tent, and just keep adding soil in amendments or whatever until I get it up to maybe here, maybe there. But this right here is going to grow nice and straight. I'm going to grow this to a tall whip, and should have a great tree. And it'll be interesting to see how this compares to my BNR that's on its own roots. So I have one of those. It's in a pretty big size pot as well. That's it, folks. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and be sure to hit like and subscribe. That helps me to get out more videos and for more people to see it and more questions. Thanks a lot. See you next time.